Welcome to episode 11 of the Sandyton build series. In this episode, we are going to take a look at the fisherman, which generally requires some water, which is why we're in a bit of a unique location. Let's go ahead and jump into the build, and then we'll follow that up with the showcase, and we'll tell you all about the fisherman's hut and what you need to make it work in Minecolonies. Finished fisherman hut. let's go ahead and cover our requirements real quick. The fisherman's hut itself does not have any block requirements. It does have some placement requirements. Basically, the fisherman's hut has to be 1 block above water. So if our standard water depth is 63 in a survival world, the fisherman's hut needs to be at level 64. So you can see that our water levels here, block is 1 level above it, so that will work. It used to be that the block had to be within 3 blocks of water, so you can see that we're close enough to water here. Previously, if this was land, we would need the hut block to be on one of these two. I forget exactly if it was 3 blocks on the 4th or on the 3rd block. I didn't have to worry about it because I placed it over here. I'm not sure if that rule still applies, because we've got updated tags for the fishermen, and these tell the fishermen where to actually work from. So by tagging fishing on a block, the fisherman will come up and stand on or near one of these blocks to cast their line and actually do the fishing. And of course, we have our ground level tag, which all huts require. One other thing that we can talk about that I did not do in this schematic, because I just don't. I'm a little bit old school. I just like to leave things as water. We have a fluid placeholder block. And what this block does is it tells the builder, when he's actually building the schematic, to, if there is a solid block, not do anything. If there is a fluid block, in this case for the desert biome or beach or river, it would be water. Leave the water block alone. If there is air or essentially any empty space, then the builder will place water in that space. So if I wanted to, I could have placed these placeholder blocks here and filled all this space in. You know, you can, it replaces seagrass apparently, but it won't replace the kelp. So you'd have to be a little bit more careful about doing that so that you don't replace your seagrass. But you could fill all this water in and it would be the same. I don't, just because I like to see the way it looks with just the water. The other thing that we've got is just decoration. So we've got a couple of tables for cleaning fish off and a chair to kick back, relax, kick your line in. We've got a little bucket or a mug, whichever way you want to go with that. We got another one over here. We've got a couple of racks for storage. We've got our barrel for water in case the fisherman gets thirsty. Just a little bit of storage. All of it is decoration because, again, just in case you haven't watched whichever video that was, the Minecolonies will only use the rack. Even if you have barrels or chests, nothing will be stored in them. It only recognizes the rack as storage, which is why racks are so important to the mod. We've got a simple roof, a nice little blue and white awning that comes out over our pier. The one thing that I did do, because this is such a simple build and we don't even have any walls, is at level 3 we'll have our block of copper, level 4 iron, level 5 I'm going to make you go to the nether and get some quartz, but that's not such a big deal. Quartz is pretty abundant. And yeah, let's jump on over to how we did the leveling for this build. Here we are at our level 5 fisherman's hut. Let's go ahead and jump right into level 4. You can see our block of quartz disappears. Took away a little bit of storage, just a barrel from over there, I think. Took away our salmon fish and took out all of the kelp. One thing to note, when you have a block that will grow, like kelp or sugarcane, bamboo, vines, the builder will come by and chop all those down because he's going to want to enforce the schematic as we see it at each level, which is why we'll get the seagrass, but the kelp won't come in till level 5. The way you fix that is that you actually have to put placeholder blocks over the space that is growth. That way the builder will leave it alone in the following level. And we'll cover that a little bit more when we get to the plantation or when we're building fields for the farm. And I might be able to get that done here and release an extra video, as that doesn't really require much. Moving on to level 3, you can see that we just get more decorative changes. On level 4, we lost our cloth covering for the awning. At level 3 here, you can see that we lost the wood frame that supported the awning. And that's about it. We should also see that our iron block is gone. When we leveled down to level 2, you can see we got rid of the whole roof structure, got rid of the block of copper. We lost a little bit more decoration, and we also did a block change from the sandstone bricks over to wooden logs for the entire pier. And we held that up here in level 1, except we got rid of the stripped wood also. It's just a little change. Either you can come by yourself when you upgrade the level, or the fisherman from level 1 to level 2, you can come by and strip the wood yourself, and that will make the builder perfectly happy. Or you can strip the wood, give the builder the stripped wood logs, and he will replace them all with the stripped wood logs to upgrade to level 2. That choice is yours. And that wraps up leveling for the fisherman. The one thing that I always think of afterwards, I always think something afterwards, I didn't change any of the fishing tags for the same reason that I've covered before. I don't particularly like adding, or I can add tags in more levels, but I don't like to move tags between levels. It's just a little bit messy. Things can get confusing, or they might get stuck in a wall because they're trying to go and sit or work where there's now a wall, and then they suffocate and die. And that just doesn't do anybody any good. That wraps it up for our fisherman video. Our next series that'll be coming up will cover the herders. So we'll have the chicken herder, the swine herder, cowboy, and shepherd. Maybe not exactly in that order, but that's what'll be coming up next. Make sure you leave any comments or questions down below. I'll be sure to answer those as best I can, and if I don't have the answer, I'm certain I can get it for you. As always, I really appreciate you all joining me. Thank you, and bye-bye.